retrieving all the samples for me. This should be enough to return to Kyrax laboratory. Come on now. I've already told you I can't explain in full detail. If you were under an exclusive contract... Alright then. Pay me a visit when you stop by Kyrax laboratory. Just one thing first. Can you please eliminate any beasts remaining in the vicinity? If by... Are all Kyrax researchers like this? Kind of eccentric, aren't they? I've updated Big Base about the situation here. In the meantime, let's deal with these beasts.
Things aren't looking great on this end. We should probably hurry. How's it looking on your end? Collecting samples, huh? I've run into some researchers myself, and they all seemed a bit unhinged. I still don't know how this ties into the civilian kidnappings, but there's definitely something shady about them. Alright then, I'll share the coordinates. Let's regroup there. Hella's troops are gathering near Kyrax Lab. It's a big group, clearly their main forces. That doesn't mean the Accretion forces will lose though. That said, Kyrax Lab isn't invulnerable. We need to act fast. You move quick. Kyrax Laboratory is just up this hill. There's something you need to know. Good news, bad news, and strange news. First, the strange news. There seems to be an issue inside the lab. Apparently, the security systems are attacking authorized personnel, possibly a result of Hella's hacking into the system. It's unclear why, but right now, it's actually safer for those without clearance. That means we're the only ones able to enter the lab. Lucky for us, isn't it? Now for the bad news, formal entry into the lab is practically impossible. It's not just Hella's they're keeping out, the guards at the main entrance are restricting entry for everyone. According to them, only people willing to be test subjects can go inside. Lastly, the good news, the lab's guards are completely preoccupied. From this distance, we can take my airship and got all that? Sometimes the boldest What? Something's not right. It's far too quiet. Is no one here? I would have thought that some people would have taken cover on the rooftop with all the security issues. Don't relax just yet. We could be in for some action. No telling what could jump out. Let's proceed silently. Oh hell. What are those monsters? What the hell is going on in this lab? What was that monster? Isn't this lab supposed to be solely focused on researching body mechanization? Samples from the beasts from Scatty Vale? Have these mad scientists created zombies or something? Let's head inside. How many of these things are there? Oh, great. It's not just Hellas we have to deal with. I'll go look for the control room. We need to reset the security system ASAP. You go to the right and check if there are any survivors.
Thank goodness. I thought the monsters had made it this far. Did you come to rescue us? The power suddenly went out, and then the monsters showed up. Even the security systems went down, so escaping the lab wasn't an option. Just where did those monsters even come from? Person in charge? Can't you meet with the director later?
Let's focus on finding Director Miranda first.
Mercenaries? Wait. You're the mercenaries Weiss mentioned. Well, all right. I guess it can't be helped. Right now, the security system has been shut down as a result of external hacking. The hacking itself must have been the work of Hellas, but because of the internal security breach, the lab's test subjects have escaped. The circumstances are dire, but the research data cannot be abandoned. The data must be...
Earlier. Be careful.
That thing. There were no reports of such a test subject. How could that? Oh, you saved my life. Thank you. I don't know either. How did a monster like that get here? That area is sealed off, so it couldn't have come from somewhere else. But as far as I know, that's an unused section of the lab.
Wait, I'm detecting an arcane core signal. Let's check inside. Let me scan this laboratory first. that? It's an arcane core. Let's take it. This is one of the cores the Karens stole from Bellato City. If it ended up here, does that mean Kyrax Laboratory is connected to the Karens? Looks like this laboratory was harnessing the arcane core's energy for their research. This residue, it's similar to the altered tissue from those creatures outside the lab. This is already the third time. We found similar traces at Anikade Research Complex. It seems like the contamination at Anikade Research Complex could be linked to this place. Let's ask Miranda about what's going on here. We need to find out if she truly doesn't know, or if she's been turning a blind eye.
Was that the last of them? Are all the monsters gone? I never thought anything like this could happen inside the research facility. Arcane core? What? No, I didn't even know such a project existed. Whatever it is, it was clearly highly classified. I'm the director, and even I didn't have the clearance to know. This couldn't have been the actions of just one or two researchers. It must have been an organized effort. This is a matter of great severity. This could escalate into a diplomatic issue with Bellato. What happened within the lab is truly unfortunate, and I am grateful for your intervention in resolving it. However, you mustn't leave just yet. Please don't worry. You saved our lives after all. It's just that certain procedures must be followed. I will do my best to resolve this as smoothly as possible. Please come with me to Akveron. I'd like you to act as a liaison with Bellato.
It's pure chaos. I came across monsters unlike any. What about you? Looked like you were speaking with the director. The lab director claims to know nothing about those monsters. Can you believe that? If you think she's telling the truth, well, okay. Over there, I came across something pretty serious. I found civilians in a secret room within the lab. After checking a few of their identities, it turns out they were missing persons from Bellato. There were also some whose identities couldn't be confirmed. They're likely Accretion civilians. Something was done to them, they were completely out of it. Once they came to, they couldn't remember why or how they ended up here. We'd better tell Stan about this. But then again, what can our boss do about it? This is an international issue, right? So, the lab director asked to go with you to Akveron. Taking this directly to Bellato would definitely be a cause for war. I'll come along, but I'm not. It's going to be a long trip, so get everything you need ready now.
I suppose we'll need to return. Sitspero is on standby for communication. I contacted him when we got the core.
I heard the news. You've retrieved another arcane core. You really know how to deliver, don't you? Arca is going to be happy about this. There's a gate near you that connects to Arca. Just follow the rover.
you've found a new arcane core. The core will be added to the system. The arcane network's functions have been partially unlocked. However, it's still insufficient to control the Holy Stonekeeper. There are more groups out there misusing the arcane cores, just as they did here. When dealing with the arcane cores, you'd best be wary of their powers.
Your signal cut out again. Did you go see Arca? I was tracking your location in real time, but you didn't register anywhere on Novus. Was it Arca interfering with the tracking? Or were you in a completely different dimension? I guess we'll figure it out eventually. Big Base is waiting. Let's hurry.
So we're off to Akverin, aren't we? Miranda's already aboard. I've already informed Stan. The boss man will be monitoring our communications closely. Connect with him immediately if needed. If you're ready, let's depart.
I assume this is your first. You'll be meeting Commander Macpherson here. He is a high-ranking officer overseeing Akveron's forces. Compared to other high-ranking officials in Akveron, he's fairly reasonable. I've already informed him about what happened at Kyrax. I need to report our arrival to Commander Macpherson, so please wait nearby for a moment.
Akverin is the capital of Akresha. Even during my Supreme Mercenaries days, I never had the chance to come here. Hold on. I see some soldiers coming this way. They look tense. What's going on?
You there. All visitors to Akverin are subject to inspection. We ask for your cooperation during this identity check. Ship, unregistered. Biosuit, unregistered. Citizenship, unregistered. Biometrics, unregistered. Practically a gang of armed thugs. Neutralize them and place them under arrest.
What the hell's going on? If we're arrested as illegal immigrants, we're done for. Should we make a run for it?
Wait, cease fire. That's Director Miranda from Kyrax Laboratory. Director Miranda, please come this way.
Stop! Stop it right now! I look away for one moment. This person is No, Commander Macpherson's guest. I will personally vouch for her identity. I'm sorry. I thought Commander Macpherson would be waiting for... I'll handle the guards here. You can meet him now. He's already aware of the situation. Go on inside.
You're the Belotto mercenary Miranda spoke of. Tell me your name. All right, I'm Macpherson. We're short on time. I'll get straight to the point. I want to establish an agreement with Belotto. I'd like your help. Your biosuit must have recorded everything that happened in the lab. The victims of the bio-experiments weren't just abducted Bellotto civilians, as you've seen. Akresha never condoned civilian kidnappings or biological experiments. A covert group known as Overmind is responsible. And if we go by the timeline, Akresian civilians were abducted first. I have been chasing their shadows for a long time. They are a shared enemy between us, perpetrating abductions and unethical bio-experiments on an international scale. It's imperative that we work together. I'll overlook the fact that you entered Akresha illegally. In fact, I'll vouch for your identity. You just need to complete the bio-verification. We'll handle the repatriation of the abducted Bellotto civilians. We'll even provide exploration gear and research data on the infected specimens. There's only one thing I want. An unofficial agreement to prevent this incident from escalating into a national conflict. You entered Akresha on a special mission. You're clearly no ordinary mercenary. It's evident you're connected to someone high-ranking in Bellotto. Set up a line of communication between us.
Is this okay? Stan is already standing by to extract us.
You've reached out from a very distant and dangerous location. Big Base briefed me on the general situation. Is this a request for rescue? Macpherson, are you referring to the commander of the Akresian Imperial Forces? The situation being what it is, I can't help but feel a bit perplexed. Very well, I understand. Please connect us through a bypass line. I'll hear the details directly from Macpherson.
I've set up a bypass line between Macpherson and Stan. In the meantime, let's use the terminal to complete biometric authentication and get Akresian clearance. Akveran truly lives up to its reputation as a city of machines. After bio-verification, you'll eventually receive a temporary citizenship ID. Let's return to Macpherson. It looks like the conversation is finished.
Is your bio-verification all done? I just finished my conversation as well. Fortunately, the talk went well thanks to your help. Stan Morris, huh? Your connections go much higher up than I expected. To be honest, I expected we'd have to climb a few steps up the chain to have a proper discussion. I misjudged you. I'll admit you've earned my respect. From now on, you're officially registered as a mercenary of Akresha. Not only will you be able to travel freely, but you'll also have no issues taking on faction quests. Listen closely. We'll continue to pursue Overmind. But we've only just managed to spot their trail. It's going to take a long time. The Bellotto civilians will be transported under our care. I hear Bellotto is about to investigate an area they're calling the Infected Lands. The infected organisms there may be similar in some ways to the ones from the lab. We'll provide an infection detector we researched and developed. It's a shame that we couldn't have a proper discussion due to the circumstances. Another opportunity will surely come around.
You should say your goodbyes to Miranda before leaving.
Looks like things went well. I'll just be happy to know what we can learn about the infected lands. This is about as far as I can assist you for the moment. Needless to say, research on the infected will continue. If you ever need help, feel free to contact me. You're always welcome at Kyrax Laboratory.
Done with everything? Get to the airship. Good thing I reached out to Stan in advance. That man played ignorant at first, but steered the conversation in his favor. I'd like to catch up with old friends while I'm all the way out here in Akverin, but we can't afford such luxuries, are we? I've heard the entire Dorian Forest is overrun with infected. You'll need to head there too. I can take you as far as Dorian Forest border, but from there, we'll have to part ways. Stan sent a new mission. It's related to cooperation with Akresha. I've got the airship running, so board it when you're ready. This is Bellato territory, so you should be able to move freely from here. So this is goodbye. Maybe our paths will cross again someday. Take care out there.
Ah, you've arrived. I've been waiting since I got your message. You've come a long way, haven't you? I've been here the whole time. It wasn't too hard. All I had to do was deal with the occasional gang wandering around. Since the midpoint between Bellato City and the mining zone is considered a key defensive location, they don't have a lot of forces to spare. Anyway, just use the hyperline over there if you want to get to Dorian Forest. It's good to see your face again. Now go on. Javier is probably waiting for you by now.
I see Javier.
It's been a while. How did it go in Akresha? I heard you and Macpherson connected with someone in Akresha. Looks like you've come a long way. You're a real mercenary now. I've led the Supreme Mercenaries in the mining war under the banner of Bellato. As you can see, we're part of the Infected Land investigation team. Vice Captain Mars Gudelj has already left with the Bellatian advance party. Since the team falls directly under Bellato, Aqua will be handing out assignments. Check the console for the region data from the advance party, and then go see Aquil.
Got the data from the advanced party Mars has sent. Let's go talk to Aquil now.
Good to see you again. Stan did say he was sending an excellent mercenary this way. Did you check the data from the advanced party? It's basically a biological disaster. The whole Dorian Forest is plagued by a mysterious infection. There's a mineral depot deeper in, but all contact with it has been lost. The infection seems to be interfering with communications, even at short range. Our objective is to identify the source of the infection and neutralize it. Mars Gudelj and follow-up team. However, an investigator we dispatched to collect infection samples hasn't returned. Can you look for him while keeping the wild beasts at bay? His name is Clipper.
Let's take down these beasts before looking for that investigator. It's Clippers. Let's take down the beasts around here first and look for him. Something over there. Maybe a bag. The bag was empty and chewed up. There was no blood, so he must have ditched the bag and ran away. We should be able to catch up if we follow the trail from here. The tracks are fresh, so we can't be far. I'll mark a promising spot. you're a person. Judging by that biosuit, a supreme mercenary perhaps? I'm fine. I took a tumble while running from the beasts, but it's nothing I can't handle. I was tasked with extracting infection samples from the wildlife. I had to cut it short when they started attacking me. This infection seems to be affecting live beasts too. They've become much more violent. Could you deal with them and help me get more samples? You can upload them to the console. I'll take what I've got back to the base, and might help. The symptoms of the wildlife here seem to be similar to those of the beasts in Scatty Vale. Let's enter the collected sample data into the console. You're done already? No wonder the Supreme Mercenaries are so highly regarded. Guess those stories about your performance in the mining war were spot on. By the way, Captain Aquil is expecting you. Sounds like they're preparing to resume the investigation at the mineral depot.
So you found Clipper. Thanks to your work clearing out the beasts, we examined the infection samples Clipper brought in. The infection rate is definitely... The next team is set to depart shortly. With standard forces, could you move ahead and locate the advance party? Alexia took her squad toward... Head there and see if you can find them.
This is the mineral depot, and the infection level is off the charts. You should be fine with that biosuit. Still, stay sharp. We don't know what might be lurking around. Our first priority is finding the advance party. I'll mark the last location Alexia's signal came from. She should be close. There's a group of nethers crawling around. Take them out before starting your search. The infection traces around here now. They're not very dense. Seems like these nethers were moving in after the area had already been deserted. Let's take them out and scout the area. Too late. There's another person over there. They're still hanging on.
Are you with the second team? And Alexia? Did they get to her? Been better. I'm Deki, by the way, from Alexia's squad. Beyond this point, infection levels surged beyond what our equipment could handle. Monsters kept coming at us. Those cursed infected. If you want to explore further, you'll have to take them down first. I patched myself up as best as I could, but I'd only be in your way. Once I can stand, I'll head back to base and ask Aquil for backup.
These infected seem similar to the ones we saw at Kyrak's laboratory. We'll have to wipe them out first before checking the infection traces. For infection traces. The infection level here is pretty high. Let's collect more infected samples before heading into the mineral depot. Aquil has made it to the depot. Let's go meet up.
Thanks to you, Deki made it back safely. It's a shame about what happened to Alexia. The second team is pressing on, although progress has been slow. This mineral depot is a prime suspect as the infection source. Our troops will cover the perimeter and the upper levels of the Minerals Research Lab. I want you to take the first level of the lab. Sensors are showing movement inside. I doubt it's a survivor, but check anyway.
This is terrible. The whole lab is overrun by the infected. No signs of survivors either. We'll need to clear them out before we can verify this place is ground zero. There aren't that many, but the space is tight. Watch out! Let's look for the source. Scan the inside. Can you collect a sample of that infected matter? Hold on. I see a dead investigator. I think this person was in Alexia's squad. Since Alexia and Deki were outside, this one must have fled here from the infected. I should let Aquil know we found a fallen investigator. The infected matter you just collected doesn't seem that potent. This doesn't seem to be the source of the infection. We need to push deeper into the Dorian forest. Wait, what was that? That rumbling! Something's coming! Take down the big one first! Such nasty ones. Let's get out of here pronto.
Our search squad was ambushed by the infected. They're everywhere. A fallen investigator. So there were infected creatures. The site is secured now. We'll turn this place into a temporary base to support what some signs of the advanced party's movement were found nearby. Figure out if they discovered something.
Let's leave the rest to Aquil and head out. Look like the exploration equipment but the area is swarming with lizards. You'll need to clear them out first before following the advanced party's something over there. I think it's more tools of the advanced party. I think we're getting closer to them. Eliminate the infected splinters as we continue the search. For more traces. Wait, is that a corpse? I think he was in the advance party. Why did he die here alone? Where is the rest of the party? If it was just the infected, there's something worse than the infected must be out here. Let's clear the infected in this area and keep digging. They're the soldiers from the mineral depot. They've been infected too. We should give them a merciful end. southern part of the Dorian Forest. That's where the trail leads. picking up a distress signal. It's one of ours. I'll mark the location.
you with the investigation team? It wasn't the infected. An unknown armed force ambushed us. I barely escaped to this temporary base, but I got hurt in the process. The rest of my team was neutralized and captured by them. Their location? I'm not sure, but there's one place that seems likely. I'll send you the coordinates. You're not planning to go alone, are you? They're seriously tough.
If they're an organized force, they're clearly not wild beasts. How are they staying conscious in this infected land? Who are they? These are Nethers. I don't know why, but they must be the ones who took the advance party. We have to wipe them out and rescue the others. I see someone trapped inside over there.
Goodness, I never thought I'd see another person again. I saw the way you fought. Are you a Supreme Mercenary? The Supreme Mercenaries from the advance party has already moved on. They probably think I made it back to the base by now. I was knocked out during the Nether attack and woke up like this. Not sure if they meant to use me as a slave or a hostage. I hope they weren't planning on eating me. Those Nethers should have the decryption key to unlock this cell. Could you find it and get me out of here?
Ready. We can open that cell now.
Thank you. Oh, I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Romero from the advance party. We ended up getting scattered in the chaos. Mars Gudelj of the Supreme Mercenaries led the others further into the forest. They might have already made it back to the temporary base and could be searching for us. There may be others imprisoned like me. Could you take down the Nethers in the area and look for the other investigators? send them back to the base.
Just what are they planning to do here? Sending a distress signal over there.
Oh, you must be from the follow-up party. Those nethers trapped me in here. Oh, hold on. They booby-trapped the cell. If you just open it, blades will spring out inside. Please take down the nethers over there and get the decryption key.
They must be the ones who set up the trap. Let's take them down and get the key. Now that we've secured the key, let's go back to the captive soldier.
Thank you. I was wondering if you just left. At the start of our mission, the situation wasn't this bad. We only saw a few patches of that black substance in the forest. Then all of a sudden, the contamination spread like wildfire. In just days, the whole Dorian forest was swallowed by it. We barely found shelter before the nethers. It's not safe here. I have to get back to the others. Ah, so everyone's regrouped at the temporary base? I'll head over there as well. Thank you so much for your help.
I think we've done enough for now. Let's go back to the temporary base.
You're back. I'm so glad to see you're safe. Mars Gudo still hasn't returned, and comms are completely down. We agreed to meet here if anything went wrong. Maybe they're still out there exploring. They were likely headed toward the lake to confirm the source of the contamination. Here, I'll share our exploration plans and logs.
Let's go toward the lake. No sign of the advance team here either. Just where did Mars and her squad go? I have a bad feeling about this. A biosuit can only do so much. What if something happened to her? You think so? Sorry. It's hard to stay calm when it's about someone you care about. The contamination here is far worse than what was reported. It's visible to the naked eye. Ordinary soldiers like Romero, without a biosuit, wouldn't have been able to get this far. Or maybe the area got worse after they already moved on. Let's stick to the advanced party's exploration path and follow where it leads. Let's keep searching. Watch out for the infected. If your biosuit gets compromised, you could get infected too.
Look! All the beasts around here are completely contaminated! Small sample of the water?
This isn't a lake at all. This is the infection in liquid form. Anyone who falls in without protection wouldn't even leave remains. Just being near it without a this level of contamination all but confirms this is. I'll send the coordinates to the main unit now. Let's clear out the infected here so other teams can come too.
Watch out for their tentacles! Those spikes are aiming for gaps in the biosuit! Out of here. The advanced party's expedition base should be nearby. the expedition base is heavily contaminated. Traces of the advance party! Mars must have been here! Looks like they were ambushed by something! That console should have a log of their expedition.
The console is missing its data chip. Someone must have taken it. The advanced supplies are still here, but there are signs of an ambush. The infected must have gotten here. If only the data chip were still here, we'd have a clearer picture of what happened. Still, if anybody or the chip is nearby, we should be able to detect them.
Let's keep looking while taking down the infected around the lake. Area. One more time over there. There! I see some tools from the advance party.
This equipment shows signs of recent use. They must have been in a rush. From here, their tracks split off in several directions. They scattered. Maybe after being attacked by the infected. It's not like they were under-equipped. So if they couldn't fight back, whatever they encountered must have been overwhelming. Let's keep following their trail. Fortunately, the contamination levels seem lower this way.
The wild beasts here aren't as badly infected. Ground being wet makes it tough to read any tracks. Let's keep moving. Be careful. Those beasts could wipe out the trail.
See signs of combat. Looks like they were totally overwhelmed. No sign of the advance party, but their traces are all over here. We should at least recover their expedition logs. The data should be on a data chip with a tracking beacon. It should trigger if we get close enough. I picked up a faint signal earlier. I'll go after the signal. You deal with the Nezads in the area.
Eliminating the beasts here should make the search easier. the data chip here on purpose so it could be found easily. Let's head back to base and decrypt the contents.